Hello, my dearest confidant. Okay, so the question has been asked. Why did I choose ducks? Oh man, I could go on forever about why I chose ducks. You know, the initial thing was, we had chickens when I was a little kid growing up. And my mom would wring their necks and pull their feathers out, and I was right there. Like, I was like 4 years old. It's like some of my earliest memories, right? And so I always wanted to have fowl again. And it wasn't until I really started doing research that I decided that waterfowl was the way to go. And some of the things that brought me to ducks immediately was their durability. They're very hardy birds, and they don't tend to get worms as much. They don't have a lot of the other maladies that affect chickens. I don't have to worry about inoculating them, giving them shots, and keeping them healthy in that way. I wanted something that was playful, and I have seen some pretty nasty chickens in my day. And there are some beautiful chickens out there. A lot of people have great success with chickens and them being docile. But I also want it to be different because that's who I am. I like being different. I like being quirky. I like being weird. And I like being a little off the beaten path. And so ducks are just, they have such great big personalities, and they're so quirky, and they're also very easy to please. They flock together very well. It's very easy to herd them. And on our little piece of property, the area that they have access to is about 2.5 acres. And I can call them from anywhere in the yard, and they come running because they know that I'm going to take care of them and give them little treats and snacks and stuff. I'm sure you could do the same thing with chickens, but I am absolutely happy with my ducks. Yeah, they're very cold resistant and hardy. Of course, they love water. I mean, why would you not want somebody that loves water if you yourself love water? They're so cute. They help protect the property. Whenever the dogs are barking, they go and they quack, quack, quack right along, right along with them, and I love that. Their eggs are just a little bit bigger, and they're more filling than chicken eggs. They're creamier and more rich, and so they're better for baking. Um, my ducks are really healthy, and I can tell that because the laying females' shells are extremely hard to crack. And that's absolutely paramount to knowing if your fowl is healthy. And I don't give them any nutritional supplements or anything like that. They eat off of the land. I do feed them duck pellets, and I put a little blend of cayenne pepper, red pepper flakes, and diatomaceous earth in their feed, and that's it. The cayenne pepper helps to expel any worms that they might ingest. It helps increase their egg production as well as the red pepper flakes. And that also keeps other pests like squirrels and raccoons out of their food because the ducks can't taste the spice, but those guys can, and so they don't eat it. The diatomaceous earth is great for keeping insects out of their food. I don't have any issues with flies, ants, roaches, none of that in their food because I do that. And that's it. I don't even give them oyster shells. There are oyster shells available to them if they want that, but I don't put it in with their feed. It's an added supplement if they want it. And I will tell you that I have the same oyster shells out, like I've not added any oyster shells to it since I have put it in front of them, and they have just as much as they did before. Sometimes the babies will go and pick at it, but they don't actually ingest it. And so I know that my ducks are healthy. And so, let's see, some of the other reasons why I chose ducks. Yeah, they're quirky. I love their feathers. It's amazing, their personalities and how wonderful they are. I love that they love to swim. Chickens can't and won't do that. In fact, a chicken would be easy to drown. The ducks that I have, with the exception of one, they are domesticated enough to where they will not fly. They are heavy. Most of the ducks I have are heavy ducks, and so they cannot fly. And so I don't have to worry about that. They are extremely easy to bed down. They do not roost in trees and such. They like laying on the ground. In fact, I think these guys might actually be a little afraid of heights because when I do pick them up, they get a little nervous until I put my hand under their feet. And so it's really easy. And I just wash down their coop every couple of days because they poop so much. with water, and that's it. Like they're super easy to care for, super easy to please, and they love our swimming pond, and they're in there all the time getting the bugs and the frogs and all that stuff out of there. And then they have their own little pond that they frequent when they can't get into the big yard. Let's see, what else do I love about ducks? Goodness gracious, there's so much. Like I said about their eggs already, they're just great. I know that I have to eat chicken eggs when I go out to dinner or whatever, but I really absolutely love duck eggs. And it's just, it's hard to describe the flavor, but they are so much more creamy than chicken eggs. And I love them. And so there's that. And then of course, ducks, the types of ducks I have. So I have Rowans. I have one mallard that she's the one that can fly. She's only like 2 pounds. But she stays with the flock because that's who she knows. I have a couple of chocolate runners, and I have a Saxony duck, which is the one that I absolutely am so glad that Tractor Supply gifted me with. She was just a little white duckling, and she turned into the Saxony, where I thought she was going to be a Peking, which Pekings are common, they're ordinary. And so I'm glad that I got a Saxony. But anyways, what was my point with that? Yeah, I love them. And so the chocolate runners are, as well as the mallard, they are about 2 pounds, so they're lightweight ducks. And then the Rowans, and the Saxony are heavyweight ducks, and so they weigh 8 pounds. And Indian runner ducks are known for their egg production. I should get at least 230 eggs out of each of them a year. The Rowans are, they say that they lay about 180 to 200 eggs a year, but I have 2 of my laying females that have laid every single day since they started laying. The other thing about ducks is that it's not about the amount of hours of daylight that makes them stop laying, it's the temperature. And so when and if the temperature gets below 30 degrees, that's when they'll stop laying. But otherwise, they will continue to lay year round. Oh, they're not broody. That's the other thing I was going to say. They don't tend to sit on their eggs and want them to hatch. They do make beautiful nests. Whenever I let them out in the yard, we have a lot of mulch around, and they will gather it up and they'll make nests. And I love that. And Howard, one of the ones that we named them before we knew if they were male or female. And she has let me witness her actually laying an egg a few times, and she will actually come and lay by me if she hasn't already laid her eggs for the day. That's the other thing. Chickens can lay eggs throughout the day. Ducks, they're done by like 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on the season. And so it's really easy to make sure that I have those eggs all collected. If I want to have them, before they go out into the big yard, I'll make sure that they lay, won't let them out till 10 o'clock or so. If I want to make sure that my eggs are easily collected and I don't have to go on a duck hunt for them. And so that's great. And they get along with the other animals extremely well. Scrooge, my male, my Drake, he is protective of his females, and he's not the smartest duck in the bunch, but he is definitely protective, and he makes sure that they're taken care of, and he makes sure that they follow and they go all together as a group. He is definitely the herder of the group. Daisy is my favorite one that goes out, and she is the explorer. She will go out on her own until, everybody follows and catches up, and then she's like, I don't care if you come with me or not, but I'm going. And they follow her. And then, of course, Honey is the little mallard that can fly, and I love watching her because she's the smallest. The Indian runners are 2 pounds as well, but they're taller and more upright, think like a penguin, versus the normal body of a duck. And she's very brave, and she's got bright, intelligent eyes, and I love that about her. And then, of course, she can fly, so that's pretty neat to watch. And it's really cool that she stays, even though she has the ability to fly away. So anyways, that's a little bit about my ducks. I know this is a long video, but I have so much to say about them, and I wouldn't trade them for the world. And maybe next spring I can get some ducklings, at least one batch of ducklings. You can see how good one of my mama ducks will be. I think it might be Howard. She seems to be the most willing to sit on a nest, but none of them are broody, so And broody means that they will sit and hatch eggs. And so, anyways, they won't even sit on their eggs until they have 10, and then they'll sit and stay with them until they hatch. And so, anyways, I love my ducks, and I'm so happy that I got them. I wouldn't change it for the world. And pretty soon I'll give you a video about why I chose donkeys instead of horses or other equines. I love you, my dearest confidant. Until next time.